morning, everyone. Today we will be dealing with the poem Refugee Blues by W.H. Auden. Uh, Before moving on to the poem, this is a very simple poem. I would like to give you a brief introduction to the author as well as to the context of the poem. Okay, so W.H. Auden was born in 1907 in York. He was raised in the West Midlands of northern England, whose industrial cities remained an important poetic landscape throughout his career. He was mainly influenced by the poetry of T.S. Eliot, a 20th century modern poet. In 1930, his first collection of poetry entitled Poems was published, and it inaugurated the movement of an English verse known as the Auden generation. Okay, a poetry, and this is a kind of poetry that expresses a desire for political and ethical commitment. In 1937, he married Erika Mann, the daughter of a famous German novelist Thomas Mann, in order to gain her a British passport and protect her from Hitler's Germany. He won Pulitzer Prize for his work *The Age of Anxiety* in 1947. He also won the National Book Award for the work *The Shield of Achilles* in 1955. In 1973, he died of a heart attack in a hotel in Vienna, and he was buried in the Poets' Corner in Westminster Abbey. Undeniably, the poet W.H. Auden is modern in his tone, and he expressed the unanchored experiences of the post-World War I Europe. Okay, especially the situation of Europe. Written in March 1939 and later included in the collection The 10 Songs, the the poem Refugee Blues was written when the anti-Semitism was at its raging peak, and the poem laments for the plights of Jews throughout that time, the plight of the Jews who were threatened to leave their homeland or their country before the Holocaust to many modern democracies, and the indifference and antagonism that they had to face while seeking asylum there. The violation of the human rights of Jews of Europe who were cornered, imprisoned, and killed under Hitler, and more tortured or more suffered due to the indifference while they seek their asylum in the so-called great modern secular democracies is being depicted here. So it is a plea for the protection of the human rights of the Jews, and also for it is a questioning against the violation of the rules of secular democracies throughout the world. The poem Refugee Blues, it expresses the poet's opinion on the plight of the Jewish refugees from Greater Germany, and it was written and first published in 1939 on the eve of World War II. So the plight of the Jewish refugees who were forced to flee from Germany but were unable to find in refuge elsewhere is depicted throughout the poem, and it speaks about the much wider and broader questions of isolation, loneliness, and exile. The poem also depicts the trauma and pain of being forced to leave from their homeland, and of being unable to find a place of safety and security in a very violent and uncertain world. Now, about the title of the poem, the refugee is a person who is forced to leave his country in order to escape war or persecution or any natural disaster. So the use of the word refugee implies that the poem is about a person or a group of people attempting to escape their country, that is Nazi Germany, but can't do so because of the fact that they don't own any passports. So this leaves them completely homeless. And blues, the word blues refers to the song of sadness and mourning. So the central idea of the poem is this, that the poem is a pretty accurate description of the situation of Jews under Hitler's rule, shows people the plight of their fellow human beings, and just because they were Jews, they were denied the basic rights. The poem itself is an indirect appeal to show compassion for humanity irrespective of the community, and it tries to gain sympathy and compassion for the entire community of Jews. And here the poet blames soldiers for their brutality and inhumanity as they killed many innocent people. And he also suggests that the countries that turn the speaker of the poem away share a good deal of blame and responsibility. And they had the actually because they had the power to save the speaker and they failed to do so. So here the poet uh, shows or try to show the human nature of Jews and how they wish to be free and safe like any other human being. Into the paragraph wise explanation of the poem, the speaker says that the current city that he is living has 10 million people. There are rich people who are living in the mansions, and there are also poor people who are living in the holes, referring to the slums, but yet there is no place for the German Jews. In the next paragraph, the speaker says that once they lived in a country and they believed that it was their own, very just and beautiful, but uh, they were denied their rights, and that place is still there in the atlas. You can see that place in the map, but the refugee and his companion can't go there. The speaker and his companion, who both of them who are the refugees, can't go there. In the next paragraph, the poet shows the contrast between the nature and the refugees, as there is always a new hope for natural life, and it renews, unlike the refugees. This is a metaphor that captures the new life opportunity and progression. The line indicates that the helplessness of the refugees to go back to the safe place because they can't or they couldn't get their passports renewed. In the next paragraph, the poet says that in anger, he went to the council to inquire about their plight and if their passports can be renewed or not. So, in anger, the council banged the table and said said that if the refugee was not having the passport, then officially he was dead. But the refugee and his companion are alive in real. So, even people in the authority refused to help, and the state didn't really care about the refugees. It also depicts that without passports, they were simply nobody within the state. The next paragraph says that refugees went to a committee. They offered him a chair to sit and politely asked him to come next year. But they were unable to help him, and the refugee had no place where he could go. So there is a pun in the use of the word a chair here, because it can be seen, or it could be taken in the context of the denial of a social equality. In the very next paragraph, we find that the speaker of the poem, he went to a public meeting and heard the speech of the speaker, and this stanza emphasizes that the people were unwilling to help the refugees and felt threatened by these refugees who were storming into their land's territory, because people were afraid that the refugees, like the couple referred to in the poem, and being afraid of these refugees, and they thought that these refugees would steal their bread. That means referring to the food scarcity and also referring to the issue of unemployment. So the very impersonal language, the use of impersonal language, for example the words like them referred in the poem, also captures the hostility towards the refugees. In the very next stanza, in the very first line of the next stanza, we find that it indicates that the couple in the poem was in danger, as they heard the Hitler addressing his men, mentioning that the Jews didn't deserve to live. This threat of death hung over them throughout their life. In the next paragraph, we find that poet highlights a contrast between the condition of the couple and the animals. He says that the cats were allowed to enter anywhere they wanted, but the German Jews weren't. So their condition was worse than that of the animals. In the next paragraph, we find the speaker of the poem telling that the refugees went down the the speaker itself, the speaker who is a refugee itself, we find that the refugee, the speaker of the poem, went down to the harbor and saw the fish swimming and enjoying their freedom. So they were only 10 feet away from him, and but unlike the refugees, they were free. In the next stanza, we find that while walking through the wood, the refugee noticed that the birds were singing freely in the trees because their life was not made a hell by the interference of the politicians. But the condition of the birds were much better than that of the humans. In the next paragraph, we find that in his dream, the speaker saw a building with 1,000 rooms, but there was not even a single room for the German Jews. And the very last stanza, we find that is not only gives an image of the coldness and death, but also of survival in challenging situations. Soldiers were not looking for them in particularly, referring to the soldiers were not looking for the speaker of the poem and his beloved particularly, but they were looking for the German Jews. Speaker wants to highlight the tragedy and fear of the personal experience as well as the collective experience. Here, the writer uses a hyperbole to show the immense number of soldiers after them and how they were outnumbered, how the Jews were outnumbered. The tone of the poem is melancholic, depressing, and devastating, and it shows the dire plight of the Jews. Which is presented starkly in the poem, making the readers very uncomfortable, which is the central idea of the poem. Now, going on into the poetic devices used in the poem. The poetic devices, first of all, you have to know that there are 12 stanzas in total in the poem, and each stanza having 3 lines. And about the rhyme and the rhyme scheme is A, the last word of the first 2 lines of every stanza rhyme with each other. The next poetic device is imagery. It can be some kind of imagery can be seen when the speaker says of the yew tree in the churchyard blossoming in every spring each year. Now, the next poetic device is metaphor. The thunder rumbling in the distance is a metaphor for the orders of the Hitler, which read, quoting, "Kill the Jews, kill all the Jews." Now, this next poetic device, it is a repetition. Okay, the last line of each of the 12 stanzas has a part of it repeated in itself. For example, only 10 feet away, my dear, only 10 feet away, which effectively this effectively emphasizes the content of each and every individual stanzas. Okay, now the next poetic device, it is allusion. Allusion, there is nowhere in the poem there is no direct statement of the extent of damage done to the Jews, nor is there any nor is there anywhere saying the speaker is speaking to a female companion. These are understood by the speaker's words and descriptions. Very simple poem, and you can see when you read through a poem. Hope you all prepare well for your exams, and hope this video was useful. Again, if you like this video, please do subscribe, watch, like, and share. Thank you. Hoping for more comments from your side in order to improve the videos of the channel. Thank you, and have a very nice day.